there, it's Digi the Cyber Kitty, and we are back today with another V-roid tutorial. Today we are doing facial expressions. So if you want to know how to set those up and avoid that awful mouth clipping issue, stay tuned because we're going to go over all of that in this video. So let's go! It's Digi. Alright, so first off, what you're going to want to do when setting up the facial expressions in Vroid is you're going to want to make sure your base mouth, which will be in the face sets tab, because that controls, that's the main controller of everything. Like the mouth width and the position of the mouth and the mouth corners are all set to a pretty neutral position, as you can see here on Sugar Plum. That's because we are going to be editing what the facial expressions are, and there will be hotkeys for those in facial tracking software such as VC Face, which is what I am currently using. So once you've got your mouth set to a base neutral expression, you're going to come all the way to the bottom here to the expressions editor. All right, and it'll start you off on the neutral tab here, as you can see. And like I said before, I like to have my hair done on my character before I give them expressions. So you've got all these different tabs. Like I said before, depending on the gender you're working on, just stick to that tab. So we're going to stick to femme because we're in female. This controls where the eyebrows are. You don't have to necessarily set these to certain things. You can kind of make them any way you want to. So we're going to be setting up the neutral expression now. And as you can see, each slider does something slightly different. So I'm probably going to move her eyebrows like there. Even though she's not angry, she's being neutral right now. As you can see, they all do different stuff. Close that. Then we're going to go into the eyes of the femme. So her neutral expression. Probably going to have something around there. Smiling. I like to do that. So I like to give him like a little more of a kind of a little bit relaxed, but not quite completely blank stare, if you know what I mean. And then there's another eyes tab here, which goes even into further control of the face. So you've got closed, which you don't want them all the way closed. You can move the eyes to the back, which I'm not really quite sure what that does too much. You can hide the irises, so if you want certain expressions like I'm dead in a funny instance or something, you can. You can expand or close the irises more than they already are. You can have, so there's the base irises, but you can have cat irises as well. So I've given her a slight cat look because she's a kitsune. And then we've got the mouth. So we're going to have it slight, curve up. Not quite a smile, but not quite anything else. And then you've got the mouth inside tab. It controls different aspects of the mouth. So you can close the mouth more. You can move it upwards or downwards. You can even have a cat mouth. You can see that. Cat mouth's a little buggy, so you're going to want to be careful about how that does it. The cat shape mouth enhances it even more. So, whatever you prefer. I think I'm going to end up giving her a regular mouth. You can narrow the mouth. You can make it wider. You can do a vampire tooth with the skin, which is a little difficult to see. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. These vampire teeth skins, so that's both sides. This is just the right. This is just the left. And then you also have mouth inside. Oh, wait, that's what we're just, my bad. And then you also have the teeth. So in order to see that, you're going to want to open the mouth a bit if you want to see the teeth. So just for this purposes, not that we're going to make the neutral mouth open, but if you want to see the teeth inside, because you can customize those, you open it with one of the vowels or with one of the extra facial expressions like happy. So you can have vampire teeth that are all bottoms and tops. You could just have the lowers. You could just have the uppers. You could have shark teeth. You could just have lower shark teeth or upper shark teeth. You could even have a front tooth fang if that's the kind of character style you're going for. You could shrink the teeth or make them more prominent on the upper or lower. So you got a lot of customization options when it comes to customizing your facial expressions for your V-roid character, which is pretty rad. All right. And for the teeth, make sure you set them to all of the facial expressions. That way you have them. So for the teeth right here, for the vampire teeth, if you want your character to have vampire teeth, make sure it's on all of the expressions. Now I'm going to go through all of the expressions and show you the expressions I just created for Sugar Plum. So we got neutral, smile smirking, sad face, angry face, happy face, and surprised. And now the next thing we're going to move on to after we're done setting those is this is where the base eyes close to. So this is like the max limit that you set them to. You're not going to want them 100%. I would probably say, let's try 71%. That way they look closed, but they're not clipping like that. So you avoid your character looking wonky. And you're going to do the same for each of the sides where it says close right, close left. So that was at 71%. 71%. All right. And on these tabs, you do not want to mess with the mouth at all. So I know I said have like the mouth, in different positions for the expressions over here, but you do not want to, you want to leave the mouth in a neutral position. Otherwise you get that nasty mouth clipping. And the reason I found this out after hours of searching and nobody else had a video on it or anything else, I found a Redditor who really helped me out. I'm going to post him now so you can see who that is and give them a big thank you for helping out the whole V-roid community. But anyway, that's how you fix it if you do have that problem. Apparently this one's not having the problem. Maybe they updated it recently, but it was a pretty big issue in the community. I do know that. Now, next, we're going to be moving on to what your character's face looks like when they're saying vowels. So first of all, we're going to go into teeth and make sure we have our vampire teeth set up so we don't have to think about that while we're adjusting other things. So do that for each of the things. Just have it kind of open so you can see it. Usually O works just fine. Got vampire teeth, the lowers. Why is this doing the upper? Anywho, this should not be adding to the upper teeth. I'm very confused. Okay, whatever. It's a little wonky. A works better. Okay. A works better when you're trying to set the teeth up before you finalize the shape of the mouth. Because this is what your character's mouth will look like when you're talking and it's tracking mouth movement. So it'll help if you are a little more detailed with it. Alright. I'm going to move those a little. Move those all the way up. Move those all the way up. Move those up a little. Can't even see him on this one. Oh well. Alright, now you start with A. And if you go into the Fem mouth tab, A is going to be set all the way to the top. So you don't want to quite do that. And sometimes I mix vowels to get it to look better. So I think about how my mouth would look. A. So kind of A-E. A. and you kind of get that basic shape, and then you can go into the mouth inside, and then you can narrow it up a bit if you don't want your character's mouth that wide, and then so on and so forth with all the other vowels. We've got the U. U-O. U-E. For that, I'm going to add a little bit of I in with the base of the mouse, a little more open. And then O. O. So now we have our vowel setup. So A, I, U, E, and O. And that's really all there is to it. So again, to show off the expressions, smirking, sad, angry, happy, surprised, the closed eyes left and right, and then A, I, U, E, and O. Now make sure you save, because you don't want to have to redo this pain in the butt sometimes. And once you have your facial expressions set up and ready to go, you can test them in the photo booth. Make sure you save it, of course. And then that should be pretty much it. So we'll go in the photo booth and we'll test those facial expressions real quick. Make sure they're working. This is the neutral. This is the smiling. This is the sad. This is angry. Once it wants to blink. Sometimes it doesn't in here, I don't know why. There's the happy. That one's still a little wonky. And then there's the surprise. Alright, so you click out of this and you make sure you save everything. Like I said before. Save as. Just overwrite it. And then wait for it to be done. And then once you have that done, you're set with the facial expression. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next tutorial so you can keep learning more about V-roid itself and watching Sugar Plum get built. Until next time, bye-bye!